Howdy everybody, Efour here, and welcome back to the channel for Season 5, Episode 7 of our FIFA 22 Youth to Gold save. In the last episode, we finished out the month of December, and we finished it on a down note with 3 losses. It's definitely a challenge, but we're getting into this month of January. We're going to be back into the league. We're also going to be taking on Ipswich Town in the FA Cup so that I can play the second team so you guys can see them play. You guys don't get to see them very often, so I wanted to show you guys that. But we got to find some good form and start riding this ship. We're falling off the pace a little bit. I want to push for those European positions, so we're going to get in today, play these games, and see what we can make happen. I showed it at the end of last episode, but just a quick refresher before we hop into this game today. We are in 6th position on 31 points, 3 points out of European competitions, and I really want to get into those European competitions. It's going to be a challenge for sure, but I'm hoping that we can get in real life. All the way down to 7th position in the English League goes into Europe. Unfortunately, in FIFA, it looks like it only goes down to 5th position, unless I'm not seeing something, or it still does go down to 7th, but we got to really fight for those top 5 spots if we want to get a foot into Europe. Today, we will be taking on West Ham, who are all the way down in 11th. They're on 26 points, just 5 points behind us. It could give us a win here, would give us a little bit more of a gap between these chasing teams. I really want to separate ourselves and be clumped in with these top 5 teams. I don't want to fall off, but we're going to have to wait and see. We beat West Ham earlier in the season 2-1. We take them on today, so let's go check out the team for that game. This is the team we're taking into the game against West Ham. We have Smith in goal, a back four of Ojeda, Bishop, Lundberg, and Taylor. Midfield pairing of Patino and Nelson. Schaefer, Carlson, and Olafsson make up the attacking 3 behind Baker. On the bench, we have Mohamed, Jonasson, V Alba, Wilson, Nilsson, Graham, and Kamara. You'll get to see every single one of these players in the next game when we take on Ipswich in the FA Cup. But today, we got to take on West Ham, try and get a win. We're 3 games without a win, so we got to find some good form. Hopefully, we can get in today and get 3 more points. And here we go at the kickoff. We have looked honestly terrible in our last 3 games that we've lost. I've not been able to get anything going. I know I mentioned it at the end of last episode, potentially going to a different tactic, and there's a poor pass from me. I'm just struggling. Honestly, we don't look very good. We're not playing well, and I need to try and figure out what's going on. They get in here yet again, and they're up 1-0. It goes right through Ian Taylor's legs. They bend it around Smith, and West Ham United is up 1-0. Like I mentioned, we're just being outclassed regularly, it feels like, and I have to manage my expectations. Take it with a grain of salt. You know, your serenity, your peace, right, is inversely proportionate to your expectations. And I'm expecting to get into Europe, and I'm not sure we have a squad that's good enough to do so. And I really got to manage that, or I'm going to keep getting frustrated with this team. But we've just not looked up for it at all for the past 3 or 4 games, and it's honestly hurting us. It's been very frustrating, but we have a little run here. I wish Schaefer would have cut to the inside of that guy, and Olafsson loses the ball, and they're trying to hit us on a counter here, trying to play some good football, get the ball back, hopefully, or looks like Ojeda should win this, and he does, gets it up to Schaefer. We are going to try and run down the wing with Schaefer, and he is dispossessed immediately. Our best player, not looking too good there, and they're trying to work it into our half yet again. It has been, like I said, frustrating, but considering that we've put 31 points on the board already in the league table, we're looking good to definitely not get relegated. I think our board is telling us to finish mid-table. If we can do that, it would honestly be a huge success for a team of our stature. It's our first season in the Premier League, and we're going to rip that with Baker, and it's right at the keeper. But our first season in the Premier League has gone very, very good so far. Come on, Nelson, get up. He's short. I knew he wouldn't. But I think our good run of form for I think it was September and October and November, we played very well, and it got my hopes up that we could potentially push for Europe in our first season. It still might be on the cards, but we have definitely struggled. And so I'm a little hesitant in saying that we can get into Europe, and Schaefer is offsides there. West Ham is pressing into our half, moving to the edge of the area on our 18-yard box. And they had a run in the middle. Fortunately, Patino got into a position to cut it out, and they get a shot on. Smith is equal to it. We're going to go down to Olofsson, and he cannot get around very well. And Lundberg turns the ball over. This is a dangerous spot. They have attackers everywhere. They're going to slot it across, and Smith gets a hand to it to push it around the post. And here is their following corner. Like I mentioned, we beat West Ham 2-1 earlier in the season, and I don't know. I'm not feeling confident in our team, honestly. I'm hoping we can make something happen here today, but we'll just have to wait and see. Schaefer is in here. We got Carlson offsides, and I should have definitely ripped it. We'll go back down to Crespo, over to Carlson, into Baker, and it's not quite there. We got it into Schaefer, over to Nelson, back to Schaefer, and he's going to rip that, and it is way too high, out for a goal kick. That's actually the halftime whistle as well. So we go into the half down 1-0 against a team that I feel like we can really get a result against on paper, but we got to get into the second half and try and make something happen. Here they are moving into the edge of our area. Another thing that I've thought about is going back to the 4-1-2-1-2 potentially. The only issue is that we have Schaefer as a winger. Now, he could 100% play striker for us, and considering that Olofsson is on the other side, and he's not necessarily a world-class talent. He's good, but he's not a world-class talent. Schaefer's in here. Hold that thought 1 second. And Schaefer slots it away, hit him with the dead fish, but Schaefer goes in like Thierry Henry, opens his body, slots it around the keeper for the equalizer. We are tied 1-1 with West Ham. And I was speaking before on potentially moving to the 4-1-2-1-2. Schaefer could do a job at striker, but it does move Olofsson out, and he doesn't. I mean, he could play striker for us, potentially. I don't know. I just feel like we have struggled, and I don't know if the 4-1-2-1-2 is the answer or if it's the 4-3-3, the secondary tactic that I've put in this season. I'm not too sure what the best move would be. Carlson wins that ball there. We're going to go down the wing to Olofsson, and we can't quite get there. Nelson gets a foot in, and it's taken off of Baker, and they're pushing immediately back into our half. We got Bishop there. We're going into Carlson, down to Olofsson on this wing. Can we make something happen here and get a goal ahead? And Olofsson rips it, and the goalkeeper gets down to save it. Come on. Put some pressure on him, boys. And that is the pressure we're looking for. Schaefer can't win that. Nelson can't win that. And they get it out. Patino is tired yet again, so we're bringing V Alba on for him in the center of the park. No other changes at this moment. We may bring on Graham, on the right wing. We'll just have to wait and see, but for now, it is V Alba on for Patino. Here they come on the attack yet again, trying to play some sound defense, win the ball back. We really have done a much better job today than we have in the past couple matches. And as I'm saying that, they're making some dangerous passing play into our half. Smith is there to collect it. And again, I keep talking about maybe doing a tactical change. I just don't know, honestly, if that's the right move. Schaefer has the ball taken off him there on a poor pass from Ojeda. And Ojeda's trying to get back. Lundberg's going to get there to collect. But, I mean, I'm not sure. It just feels like this. I don't have a pass out. There we go. We got Nelson going into Graham here. We'll go over to Patino, and Carlson's offsides. But our tactic, I'm not sure if it's just the quality of player that we have compared to the rest of the league, or if it really is a tactical issue. I feel like we get some decent opportunities, but our defense is definitely struggling again, which probably is to be expected considering we're back in the Premier League. Or not back, but we're in the Premier League. This is our first season in the Premier League. And again, I know I keep saying it, but we're honestly doing so well, way overperforming. But I want to get into European competition, oh no, in our next season, and it goes wide. This is wrapping up the end of the game. We have a goal kick from Smith, takes it out. Our last chance to get down the field and try and make something happen. We'll go into V Alba, over to Nelson, up here to Olofsson, and it is kind of taken off him. We do keep possession. We got V Alba into Baker, and he has the ball taken off. That will be the end of the game. We draw 1-1 with West Ham. Not a terrible result. We at least get a point on the board. But we'll check out where that leaves us in the league table before we hop into that game against Ipswich. So that draw does see us slide down into 7th position. We fall behind Spurs, and honestly, if we can just get ahead of Spurs this season, I'd be happy because I don't like Tottenham because I'm an Arsenal fan. So that'll be our goal. How about that? But we're still only 2 points out of the European places. We're looking really good. Chelsea have come back. Wolves, Southampton. We have a lot of good teams right on our tail. And we have definitely fallen off the pace in terms of a title chase. Again, we weren't really looking for that this season, but we're now 11 points behind Liverpool. But again, we're only 3 points behind 4th position. If we can string some wins together, not give up bad goals, not give up draws, if we can string some wins together, I'm fairly confident we can push for Europe. I feel so torn. I want Europe, but I know that that's a big ask of this team. But I feel like we're so close. And honestly, even if we got into Europe, our squad would probably not be ready because we don't have the depth. Sitting a season in the Premier League before getting into Europe is probably the best thing long-term for our team. So, you know what? Instead of putting expectations on Europe, not Europe, let's just play, see how we do the rest of the season. We're just going to play. Play to win every game, see what happens, no expectations, kick back, and try and finish out the year as best we can. So today we take on Ipswich in the FA Cup for our first game this season in the Cup. We're going with an entirely rotated squad minus the goalkeeper. Our team is Smith in goal, a back four of Jonasson, Mohamed, Bjorklund, and Cook, midfield pairing of Crespo and V Alba, Nilsson, Wilson, and Graham are the attacking three behind Kamara up top. On the bench, it's all our first team players. We got Bishop, Ojeda, Nelson, Carlson, Schaefer, Olofsson, and Baker. I thought about potentially bringing in some of these guys like Munoz, Bennett, Menendez, and Wilson, but I really feel like their time at the club is done. We have a lot of young prospects in the youth academy that are near their potential or their overall with more potential, and so these guys I'm probably going to be looking to sell. I need to raise some funds for contracts. We don't have enough money to give some of our key guys contracts. Guys like Carlson, I think Nelson. There's a few who we need to up their contracts and get them tied down to longer term deals. So we're going to be looking to move some guys on to raise some funds so that we have more funds for that. But today we take on Ipswich in the FA Cup. So let's go try and get a win with this second team squad. And here we are starting off. Kamara, the backup striker, has done a great job playing in these games when he starts, really doing a good job of assists. He's played 4 games. He has 2 goals, 2 assists. Playing very similarly to Baker, which feels good. That's exactly why we brought him in. If you remember this past summer, we had a couple other guys that we could potentially bring in as strikers, but we decided to go with Kamara because his profile was very similar to Baker. Here is Kamara trying to make a run in. It was a poor pass, but he does still end up winning it. We'll go over here to Cameron Wilson. He doesn't have a lot of support, and we're going to go to Crespo, into Kamara, and it is blocked, no goal, and our attack dies there. And they're hitting us immediately on a counter. They have a pass across. They don't hit it, fortunately for us. Ojeda gets in the way, or Jonasson gets in the way of that, excuse me. And it's out for their throw. Nilsson steals it, and the pass is blocked. Their goalkeeper is all the way out here making a real hash of things, and Kamara gets a foot in, but it goes out for a goal kick. Here they are moving into our half again. Now, a couple things that I've been thinking about with this second team moving forward is Bjorklund is a 68 overall and starting in this second team. I think I may have mentioned it last episode when we were looking at the youth academy, but we have a 68 overall center back and a 67 overall center back in our youth academy, and so I'm getting closer and closer to bringing one or both of them up. Get it out, Mohamed. There we go. Getting them up into this squad so that they could start getting some game time in these sorts of games. We'll have to wait and see. goes over to Crespo. We get the ball through, and I thought Kamara was making a run. He stops it. Crespo is still here with the ball and tried to play Kamara and can't get it through the defender. V Alba is there to collect. We have Nilsson here, and we'll go over to Wilson and try and rip that around the keeper, and it's saved out for a Efour United corner. And here we go. I realize English is hard. I said a Efour United corner rather than an Efour United corner. A lot of times when I'm editing these, I realize, oh man, I sound like a doofus. But that's okay, you know. That's just part of it. V Alba is in here. Kamara is there, and we don't get the goal. It's saved by their keeper. That was a huge opportunity for us. Crespo gets on there. Cameron Wilson is here now and taking off the ball. Cameron Wilson's biggest thing against him is his first step. He's fairly slow, especially compared to Carlson. Not the quickest. He's pretty good technically, but he's definitely slow. And in positions like that where he can get a quick step around a defender, you notice it. Now they're moving into our half again. This is a game that we need to win. And we give up a goal right as I say that. You got to be kidding me. Ipswich is up 1-0. Yes, it's our second team squad, but I think Ipswich are at best, they're in the championship. And we need to be able to handle a championship side. Come on, boys. We got to figure this out. Try and get a goal. But what a terrible play. The defense is all over the place. Bjorklund and Cook on the right side of that defense are the weak points, playing right center back and right back for us. And neither of them pick up the man, and it goes into the back of the net. We're down 1-0. We do have a throw down here in their area. We give it into Cameron Wilson, and he does keep possession. I thought he was going to lose it. We'll give it over to V Alba, into Kamara, and they get it off of him. I was trying to play a quick pass into Graham. It doesn't come off, obviously. And here they are pushing back down into our half. Mohammed, come on, win that ball, buddy. There you go. Go up into Graham here, over to Wilson. We got Crespo making a run. We're going to go into Kamara here, and come on, boys. We got to make this a goal. It bounces off the defender, and it goes out for a corner. We'll send this corner in with Graham. See if we can get somebody's head to it. We can't. Oh, and it drops to Mohammed. It drops to him again. He tries to take 3 shots, misses the last one completely, misses the ball. All right, and that is the halftime whistle. That was close, but we really need to be doing a better job here. This is a team that we can beat, so let's get into the second half and try to find a way to do so. We got the ball into Kamara here, kind of on the edge of the area. I'm not sure that was... I wanted him to do a back heel pass, and maybe he doesn't have the ability to do so, but he tries to turn and pass it, and they grab it easily. Fortunately for us, Ipswich run it out of bounds. We're trying to work the ball around here. We're kind of camped out on the edge of their area, trying to find an opening, and can't seem to do so. We got V Alba making a run, and he gets a goal back for us. Let's go, V Alba. He's now up to a 74 overall, makes a dangerous run from the midfield. Kamara plays it into him. He slots it home to equalize 1-1. He goes all the way across to Crespo. He plays it to Kamara, and V Alba's late run into the box leaves him unmarked to slot it past the Ipswich goalkeeper. Here they are on the edge of our area. I thought Crespo was going to get a foot in there. He does not. If things go how they have been going, you guys might be in store to see your first penalty shootout in the save. I honestly would like that to not happen. We haven't had the best record. We got Nilsson making a run down this wing, and he gives the ball up because I just don't enjoy Nilsson, honestly. When we signed him in the youth academy, he was valued, I know it was over $1 million. I couldn't tell you exactly how much. He had an exciting prospect as his potential range for a while. Crespo can't get the shot off, but Nilsson in the match engine just does not feel good. So we're making 3 changes. We're bringing Nelson in for Crespo, moving V Alba over to the left side, and bringing Nelson in on the right side where he normally plays. Carlson comes in for Wilson, and we're bringing Baker in on the left wing to try and help play in Kamara. I'm not bringing in Schaefer because Baker, Carlson, and Nelson have the best penalty taking out of all the guys on our bench, and so I wanted to bring on 3 good penalty takers in case we go to penalties and leave our best penalty takers that are already on the pitch, which would be Kamara and Graham. So now we have our 5 who could theoretically win us a penalty shootout. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, we can get a goal before that happens and try and just close this out in regulation. And here is our corner, and we're going to send it in with Graham. He sends it across. Mohamed is there, and he hits it, and it is saved by the keeper, but great header from Mohamed. Now our next corner, we're going to send it in with Nelson this time. We got Kamara there. The goalkeeper is going to collect, and he does. Now Kamara is pretty tired, and I almost left Nilsson on the left wing and kept Kamara on, but Nilsson's penalty taking is terrible. Kamara can't get around that player there. I was really hoping he would be able to turn. He is not, and we're still trying to get a goal in this game against Ipswich. Not a good showing for the boys, and this just kind of underlines our form over the past, I don't know, 10-ish games now. Get up. We do get up. Bjorklund's there again, and he gets it out. All 5'11" of them. Not the tallest, but he gets the job done. Now we have Baker running down this wing. Can he make something happen? He is not as fast as Schaefer. Good player, but not as fast as Schaefer. V Alba. We're going over to Nelson. We're going to send it back across, and it is blocked and out for a corner. But already the boys are looking more lively with the changes on the pitch. We're going to send this up. Kamara's not very tall. Doesn't get there. Mohamed was kind of pressuring, but didn't get there either. We got Carlson here going into Graham. We got V Alba into Baker, and he slots it home. Is he offsides? He is offsides. We don't get the goal. It's a quick play. Baker gets just offsides, and we're still tied 1-1. And here they are with a ball over the top, trying to push in late on in the game. And we have to make sure we don't give up a goal. Fortunately, they were offsides there, and their attack dies there. But we don't have a lot of time. This should be our last attack of the game. We almost lose it there with Mohamed. And we're going to go into Kamara over the top. Come on, buddy. And can he whip it? And he does! Let's go! A late goal. Hit him with the worm. Dead fish and worms. We haven't seen many knockout punches recently, but it doesn't matter. That should be the game-winning goal for us. What a play. Carlson comes on, gets the assist. Tactical genius from Efour manager. He sends it into Kamara, sorry. And off on the half volley, he belts it past the Ipswich goalkeeper. What a goal from Kamara. What a pass from Carlson. And we're up 2-1. And they are making a late push into our half. Down this right side of ours. They cross it into the back post. They do get ahead to it, but it is out for a goal kick. And this should be the end of the match if we can just hold the ball. And there is the final whistle. Efour United 2, Ipswich 1. It was a little bit of a nail-biter, but we were using all second-string players. Now, the biggest weakness on our second team is that defense. It's the lowest ratings on the whole team in the second team. We really got to start developing some of these younger guys so that we can have some depth for these games, and also if we make it into Europe or even in the Premier League, just having depth is going to be huge. So we got to do a better job, and by we, I mean me. I have to do a better job of rotating these guys in so that they can get that game time to develop. But we get out, we're in to the next round of the FA Cup, Efour United 2, Ipswich 1. So that win sees us go through the Cup. We're going to play the rest of this month off camera. If there's any transfers or anything in this January transfer window, I will let you know. But we're going to play against Arsenal and Crystal Palace off camera. I didn't want to show you the Arsenal game because we just played them in the last episode. So we're going to play these. I'll bring you back for the scouting reports and any interesting tidbits that come up over this transfer window. And I'll see you guys in just a sec. So the January transfer window has closed, and we have sold one player, Jacob Lund. We were offered almost $3.5 million for him. He doesn't ever play for us. He's 18. We have another guy in the youth academy who could come up and is the same overall as him. So I figured, let's get the money. We've got $3.5 million for Jacob Lund, and he is out of the club, going to Wolfsburg. Since you were last with me, that 2-1 win against Ipswich in the Cup, we then took on Arsenal in the league, and we were up 2-0, playing dominantly. Nelson and Schaefer both got on the score sheet in this game to put us up 2-0, and then at the end of the game, we just let them come back. They got 2-2. At the very end of the game, right before the whistle, they were really threatening for another goal. Fortunately, Smith, our goalkeeper, collected it to end the game there. We got a point, which isn't terrible, but it was a frustrating result considering how dominant we were in the first half of the game. We then took on Crystal Palace in the league, and the same exact thing happened. We went up 2-0 from Olafsson and Baker, let them back into the game to end that one with a draw, getting 1 point. 2 points over our last 2 league games is not terrible, but it's not great. We then went into the cup against Nottingham Forest, and we started the entire first team. Our first 2 goals in this game both came from Carlson, and they were both assisted by Mike Nelson. It was beautiful play, just threw balls from Mike Nelson into Carlson. He ran in and was able to slot it past the keeper. And then after his 2 assists, Nelson got his own goal being played in by Baker. He ran in, scored into the top left corner. It was honestly a tight angle and a beautiful shot to put us up 3-1 and ice that game. In the end of that game, I actually went to a 4-1-2-1-2, and it was not bad. Again, this is a championship team, so I have to take it with a grain of salt, but I wanted to try it, see how it felt, and it did pretty decent. I had Kamara and Baker up top in that game. Once I switched to that, it was about the 60th minute when I brought my 3 subs on, and the team did well. So we get through the cup, and we're into the round of 32 up next. We got through. Our board wants us to get to the round of 16, so we got to win this next game to meet that board objective. We haven't got the draw yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. So those 2 draws see us slide down into 9th position. Not a terrible place. We're right behind Southampton. And speaking of Southampton, over that January transfer window, they actually bought Youssoufa Moukoko for $91 million. So we will not be getting him. It looks like he renewed his contract at Borussia Dortmund and then was signed by Southampton. I know we had talked about him being near the end of his contract, but we're not going to get him. I am starting to scout some center backs, and I found 2 potential transfers that I'm really interested in. It really just depends on how much money our board gives us this summer, because we need a good center back to take Lundberg's spot. Bishop is now up to an 80 overall, but Lundberg, he's good. I love Lundberg, but in the Premier League, you have to have great center backs, and there's 2 81 overall center backs that are under 21 years old that we could buy, so we'll check that out in the summer. But we're currently sitting in 9th. We are now 5 points out of the European spots. Spurs take that last spot in 5th position, so we have a lot of work to do if we're going to fight back into that. But if we can just stay in the middle of the pack for this season, get another season under our belt, and start in next season in the Premier League, I think we'll be a lot better off. But that is where we sit. Hinga Dinga Dargan. You guys know what time it is. Get your popcorn, get a drink. We're checking out the scouting reports. Now here is a quick look at our youth academy, a quick look at Norden, who we got in the last episode, valued I think at $1.1 million. He completed his move to center back, went from a 60 to a 63. Another good depth option, a guy who looks like he could develop into a great player. 77 to 94 potential is wonderful. But like I mentioned, Collins and Sanz are probably going to get call-ups sooner rather than later. I really would love to see them hit 70 overall. It doesn't look like they're going to. We do have a 70 overall in Ian Kerr, which is huge for our team. That is massive that we have a 70 overall winger in the waiting in the wings, no pun intended, because he's a winger. But my thought process here is to try and sell Nilsson and Logan Wilson over the summer. Wilson, we got confirmation, is done developing. Now, he is a 76 overall, which is great. But Kerr is 17 at a 70 already, and I think he could develop into a great player. His potential is 87 to 93, and so if we can get money for those other 2 to then fund the center back we want, we could bring Kerr up, and he could slot in as our bench left winger. Unfortunately, we draw another blank in the scouting reports. No guys valued at $1 million of value or more. But just for a little bit of perspective, Norden was valued at $1.1 million, and he's only a 63. So that's why even the guys that are $600,000, $700,000 value, we're not bringing them in because they're just not going to be good enough to get into our team. We do have this right back who's a 64 overall. His pace is getting better. It's not great, but he could potentially move in to be a backup on that right side. We have Cook right now, who's a 68 overall, playing over there as our backup. And so Marcus Carlson, the brother of our center attacking mid Carlson, is in the wings waiting in the youth academy, so we'll have to wait and see. But again, like always, we'll check back in with these guys in a month to see how they're coming along. Before we end this episode, I do want to show you guys the stats. It is the January transfer window, so we're going to take a look at them. We have Frank Baker here getting 12 goals and 7 assists in 25 appearances. That's 19 goal contributions. He's gone up 3 overall this season from a 76 to a 79. Jan Carlson has 9 goals and 10 assists, 19 goal contributions in 27 appearances, going from an 80 to an 84. Efour has 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 goal contributions in 25 matches, going from an 86 to an 89. Mike Nelson is up next, 5 goals, 6 assists in 27 appearances. That's 11 goal contributions, and he's gone up from a 74 to a 78. Olofsson has 4 goals, 4 assists in 24 appearances, 8 goal contributions, from a 72 to a 75. Charlie Patino has 3 goals, 5 assists in 24 appearances. That's 8 goal contributions. He also has 7 clean sheets when he's played, so he's key defensively for us. He's gone from a 77 to a 79. Edouard Kamara, our new backup striker, has 3 goals, 3 assists in 6 appearances. That's 6 goal contributions in 6 appearances. Now, he does play a lot in the Cups. In the Premier League, he's played once and has 1 assist, so not a bad player. He's gone from a 73 to a 75. Cameron Wilson is up next with 2 goals, 2 assists, 14 appearances with 4 goal contributions, going from a 71 to a 73. He's an interesting one. I know I've said his pace is really lackluster. He honestly is one that I'm looking to maybe replace it. The role I see him fulfilling is being a depth midfielder. He's not great at defending. He's not very fast. He does a job, but he's definitely not very good. I don't enjoy using him just because of how slow he is. We then have Hunter Graham, 2 goals, 1 assist in 16 appearances, 3 goal contributions, up from a 76 to a 78. Oscar V Alba is 2 goals, 1 assist in 29 appearances. He actually is tied on the most appearances in the squad, simply because he pretty much comes on as a sub every single game. He's gone from a 72 to a 74. 3 goal contributions in 29 appearances isn't the best, but again, he comes on as a sub a lot, and he does a good job for us shoring up the park near the end of the games. The only other stat we have is Nilsson with 1 assist in 9 appearances. He's on a 6.5 this year. He's gone from a 74 to a 76. Again, he is just not someone that I enjoy using very much. Probably looking to sell him over the summer to try and get some money, like I said, to fund a center back move. Rasmus Mohammed is our 3rd string center back right now at a 71, which is just not quite good enough. And our defense this season is playing terribly. David Lundberg's on a 6.3 for the season. Even Harry Bishop's on a 6.3. Ojeda is on a 6.4, and Ian Taylor's on a 6.3. We have to get some defensive help. Like I said, maybe switching the system. But most of our other players are on pretty good ratings. The starters, at least. Kamara's on a 7.5. Patino's on a 7.1. Olofsson is on a 6.8. Mike Nelson's on a 6.9. Efour is on a 7.1, Carlson's on a 7.3, and Frank Baker's on a 7.3. So our defense is really letting us down. We've got to shore that up in the summer transfer window, but we'll take care of that when we get there. If you have enjoyed that, leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm enjoying this team's journey through the Crucible. I hope you guys are. Until next time, Efour out.